was our commercial, and I hope you guys enjoy our AA Steam and Entrepreneurship Academy's commercial, because you're going to see that all over the world when we're up and running, and people will inquire from all over the world. I have been an educator, all over the state, and I've studied education from this country from the early 1900s up until now. Being an educator for over 10 years now, I realized that there has to be a drastic change. But before I jump into that, welcome you guys, stakeholders, board members, everybody that's watching this video that's going to play an integral part in the success of AA Steam and Entrepreneurship Academy. Who am I? I'm the founder of AA Steam and Entrepreneurship Academy. First of all, the first thing that you have to know, I'm a father right now. My 9 to 5 is a principal. I'm an educator. I'm a business owner of AA Realty. I'm also an author. It's not on here, of 2 books, and it's inspired from education, Loving Education, and another novel called I Don't Like School. I have a bachelor's degree from Fort Valley State University in business management, and I think that played an integral part of why I wanted to start a school about entrepreneurship, because I understand the importance of business, regardless of how successful. I think about everybody that's in the world that's successful in some sort of business role. They have a business mindset to understand the demographics and how to connect with certain people. I have a master's in the art of teaching in middle grades education from Augusta University, as well as an educational specialist in curriculum and instruction, and a educational specialist add-on in educational leadership. So all of this will play a part in doing what we do every day. But one of the companies that I've learned from, and this is the reason why I'm kind of implementing it with the start of this school, is Waffle House. And what is about Waffle House? All of those people that's in that organization, they start learning the organization as a cook, as a waitress. They know the books. They know how to take inventory. They know every aspect of that unit. And so this is the plan and the platform, and something that I'm kind of the business model of how I'm going to perform and organize this school. Because in order to really know the culture and the climate, you really have to be in the classroom to understand what kids are doing and how they're learning different material. So my passion is students. Yeah, I want to be a teacher, principal, and the superintendent of this organization, but I want to start as a teacher. I love teaching. I just love the aha moments in kids' brain when you see that they understand and master a concept. So I get the idea of starting my own school after going to Ron Clark Academy several times, and just seeing the structure of his organization, is just understanding that these kids were really grasping some heavy stuff. So he's a teacher there. He's also the superintendent or the principal. Him and Kim, they run the organization themselves, and he travels, he speaks, he does those different things. But at the end of the day, I was a public school education, and I realized that some of the stuff I can't do, and some of the things that we couldn't do when it relates to private education, when they're paying a tuition. And I wanted a public school so kids can actually attend without having to pay any money. And we'll get into that a little bit later. But what is STEAM education? It says STEAM education is just an approach of learning that uses science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics as an access point to guide student inquiry, dialogue, and critical thinking. I want our students to be able to think on their toes and not just stand in front of the classroom by an educator or a teacher and just have the kids take notes. I want students to be able to ask questions, to connect the dots themselves, to problem solve, and to think creatively and be innovative. And how do I expect to do that is just a different element that's not in any other school today. Through the arts, I want kids to be able to be creative and teach them the power of observations and their surroundings, and just hone on their skills and their gifts. So regardless of, I realize in education that we have a lot of talented individuals as students, but we will never know. We'll never know. I was able to mask my inability to take tests and different things of that nature. I was funny, I'm witty, and I'm sporty, I'm athletic. Um, if I was given the opportunity to create something, I will make sure that if it's in a public speaking sort of idea of assignment, I will find something for it to be funny. I'll find something for it to be creative and try to blow people away and take your mind off of the tests or the other thing that had to be done. So there's a lot of creative, and I've been a principal now at 2 different schools and AP at 3 different schools, and I see so many different things. And the most creative kids that we have, it's not the ones that's going to be your valedictorian, salutatorian. It's those sped kids. It's those kids that perform well on exams, but they're just thinkers, and they're in just different way of just understanding ideas. So I'm breaking down these things and what I wanted to be able to create in the school, but I wanted you to understand, and most of you understand what's an entrepreneur. And those entrepreneur is the people that design, launching, and running new businesses. Initially, it start with small businesses. It's the people who create those businesses are called entrepreneurs. There's a trend of every Fortune 500 company that's out there right now, and they all started from entrepreneurs. Every last one of them. You can think about your Walmart, you can think about your Burger Kings, your McDonald's, even your Amazon started from just a basic bookstore or some online book purchasing place or Staples. Every business that's right now, I'm in the trading stocks and I'm looking at, but all of these companies started by your business owners. And so this is what I wanted to create. I'm a business owner. I own AA Realty, but I want people to understand the importance of your demographics, who you're starting it for, how are you going to reach that market when you're marketing, how are you going to, what's your price point? Is it, most people, I have to break this down to students as well. Just say we're going to take McDonald's and we're going to examine every business that's locally. And just say your local McDonald's, most students don't even realize, they just think McDonald's just sell burgers, Big Macs, fries. But the whole point of a business is to make money for their shareholders or their stockholders or their people that has a vested interest into the company. So yeah, you can say they make burgers but it's a whole department that goes behind the marketing, the brand, and the demographics of where they're going to place their next restaurant. The school of the entrepreneurship side, we're going to form partnership with the local business and being able to look at their books and seeing how McDonald's from the location of a McDonald's on Tobacco Road and a McDonald's on Washington Road. Why is the McDonald's on Washington Road outperforming the one on Tobacco Road? Same menu, same prices, same everything. But you're going to see the demographics and you're going to see the location plays a vital part. And we're going to do that with every business. Every business that's locally, we're going to be able to take apart and then to start and create our own businesses. See, we get ready, and as an educational facility, and we get ready for students to be college and career ready, but no school that I can think of create business owners or people to get ready for your own business. We have cybersecurity coming here in Augusta. And we have most people coming to this location because of it. What if we can start businesses to be successful in our own community where people can come to our community, or we can, make money off of our own people that's here in the area. We have masters come here. So many businesses can be created just from that revenue, $1 billion that comes through Augusta of just millionaires, spending money and patronizing in different restaurants and different things of that nature. Just one part of the year. I know a couple of people started just rental home companies just for the masters. They hold the property, they put them on VRBO, vacation rentals, but they put them on there. But at the end of the day, they only rent them out for that week, a week and a half, and they pay for the property and more just for that week. So why did I want to create a charter? Why am I doing this thing for a charter school? Because as I said before, we oftentimes forget about those kids, and we don't have the exposure for those kids that low income. So being able to have a kind of like a private school, but it's public for our students to afford, for those parents that just can't afford that great education. And this is what I want to do here in Augusta. It's publicly funded, by our tax dollars. But the difference is it's free from many of the regulations that govern traditional public schools. And that's what's going to serve as key. When you deal with so many curriculum aspects of public education, we have deadlines to meet, and we have to teach this by this date, and we want to make sure that we're not late, and we have a test to take, and it's about passing this test. But I don't want to focus on that. I want to focus on performance-based learning, and it doesn't matter if we don't. I'm not being able to test for those different standards, because I do believe that we're going to perform and outperform every school that's in the CSRA, not just in Richmond, but in the CSRA. But I want to put that into play. As we progress in years to come, we have to teach our kids different things of that nature to be successful. So a charter school is going to involve our charter school that we're a part of is going to involve the partnership of the local community and businesses. And this is what we're going to examine different businesses once we form that partnership, whether it's, just coming in to be able to look at their books, to be able just to look at their organization, the location, the demographics, and things of that nature, to help our students just be able to grasp different concepts. So every subject, whether it be language arts, science, social studies, and math, will be tied in how are we going to be able to utilize those things in the real world. That's what's going to make this school different than any other school in the country. Matter of fact, in the world. So what are traditional schools doing now? What they're currently doing. If you look at the picture on the right here, you'll see this picture was probably taken late 1800s, early 1900s. And you have a group of students looking at the teacher. They're probably looking at this camera, but they have their pencils up, the books open, and the teacher is probably in the front of the classroom commanding all of the attention. And if you look over here to the left, you'll see the same thing. The traditional schools set their desks up just like this. And 9 times out of 10, when you walk into a school in a classroom, you will see this. And it's crazy how we advance in technology and how things have just improved for over 100 years, but we are yet doing the same thing that we always done. That's the definition of insanity, I think. The definition of insanity, to do the same things over and over, and then you're expecting different results. And at the end of the day, the teacher will probably be up, you write your notes, and then they'll give out a quiz. And 9 times out of 10, not 9 times out of 10, but you have some teachers that say, hey, okay, since you took your notes, tomorrow we're going to have a quiz. Next, you could walk in the classroom, all right, take out your notes from yesterday, open book quiz. And our kids still can't pass. You give them a quiz from the notes that they took the previous day, and they're still unable to pass. It's not that the technology and the techniques that we're doing are wrong. It's just the way that we're trying to grasp and get our kids to learn new information. We're creating note takers, and that's not really fully getting into our memory. It's just temporarily to hold. And we're not even holding it if you're just telling us to take a test or take a quiz, and we can use our notes to take this quiz. But this is what we're getting into, you guys. So I wanted to create something that's different than any other school in the country. So what I realize is that when we realize as educators, today's education process, when we realize that kids are falling behind, we decide we're going to test them. And when we test them, guess what? Most of those kids end up special education. Nothing's wrong with these kids. They end up in special education. We don't stop to ask to figure out, is this kid kinesthetic? Is this kid learns best auditory? Is he tactile? How did this kid best learn? But we realize, oh, there's a problem with this kid's computational comprehension. So we're just going to test them. Oh, his IQ is low. So we're going to put some of the brightest kids and most talented kids that I have ever came in contact with are kids that was considered special ed. Creative as all get out, but we never give them the opportunity. I created videos and they can draw. I mean, when I tell you the most athletic, such as myself, you know, I was grouped in that group of kids, of sped kids, just because I was classified as ADHD. But at the end of the day, we have to be more creative than what we are, you guys. And that's why I really wanted to create a school for this reason and for this reason alone. So what makes AA Steam and Entrepreneurship Academy unique? Every student, as I said before, like SPED kids, every special education student has an IEP. So individualized plan for this child that we're going to figure out how we can improve this so-called learning disability. So every student that enters in AA Steam and Entrepreneurship Academy will have a personalized learning profile, how this kid best learn. So to focus on the individual needs of the students through regular systematic assessments of each student, of his or her work. So every time a student comes in, we'll give them surveys. We'll figure out how that kid best learns, and that will drive the instructional processes for the team and for those different type of learning, for those different type of students. We'll target those learning goals through targeted interventions and enrichments offered daily in our educational program. Every student in every class, it will be business creation focused. We will try to realize and pull out the talents that's inside of our students, and preferably right brain students, because our left brain students, they are great at test taking. Then that's our traditional students. But our school is really going to be for those non-traditional students that probably not excelling in their home school. They're great, they're bright, and we know they're bright, but to interaction with their cohort, their other students and peers, and to learn different things, and not just the traditional way, give you a sheet of paper and give you a multiple choice, but to actually break apart how to create different things, and how language arts and how social studies is related to this business. Even the history of business, and when were they created, and what time zone and what time frame was it created in the civil rights movement? Was it created during the Great Depression? How the history of it, the science of it, what's the local community that affects this business, just the ELA part of it, how to write up a business plan, how to speak. A lot of our kids struggle with the home life, with being able to switch it on and switch it off. Some of them couldn't walk into a boardroom and to be able to speak to individuals that's on the board, because they go home and what they hear every day is just street slang. So being able to listen, and I tell students all the time that I didn't grow up like this. I didn't. I didn't. I can't talk like this around some of my family members. But at the end of the day, I have to be able to be relatable, to be able to relate to them, and be able to switch to that mode of transportation, communication, not transportation, mode of communication with my family or with my friends, whether I'm playing cards, I'm out having fun. But at the end of the day, these things will play a part in every course. So the financial literacy, entrepreneurship, resume building, all interwoven in STEAM education. Entrepreneurship 1 and 2 will be the foundation that's implemented in every subject area. And one of the things that I said in the PowerPoint is, how does each subject area affect local businesses? And those are local trips. Those are the trips that we're going to be taking weekly, I feel. So every week, I want my kids, maybe not the whole school, but maybe a group of 30, and we'll probably, switch out our kids and who goes this week. But I want my kids to be able to see all aspects of how a business is ran, so we can recreate our own businesses as well. Our focus will be a project-based learning. You won't see that traditional teacher in the front all 95% of the time. You will see that probably 10% of the time, and you'll see groups of kids working to figure out different problems, to be creative. Sometimes we can learn from problems. How our business is failing? How could we create a new product? How could we reach a different brand or market of people using social media, not just to start messing, to pass out different fight videos, but how to push out your organization and how to market and brand who you are and what your business does and create. Students will work on projects over an extended period of time instead of doing day-by-day assignments. We'll work on different things from weeks or up to semesters. I know our last semester will be creating that business plan that for our business, whether it's a lemonade stand or a full-blown restaurant, whether it's a real estate company or a production company or graphic design. We're going to create every single aspect of that business. So by the time every year our students will create a business plan. By the time our students graduate, if we have a student that's in the 6th grade, from 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, that's 7 different business plans that our kids will be able to create and to walk away with at least one that can be a viable and a successful company, whether it's a trucking company, but we're going to feed off those businesses from what our kids are interested in. So you have to research and different things that you want to find out about, whether it's a video game company. So as a result, our students we're going to be able to develop deep content knowledge as well as critical thinking, collaboration, creativity, and communication skills. See, project-based learning unleashes a contagious creative energy among students and teachers. So when I have my class, I'm just going to be the facilitator. So, I mean, I want my kids to be able to explode and be those thinkers and create those businesses, because once they create the successful businesses, then they're going to pour back into the school, helping us grow even bigger than what we are. And this is the last point, you guys. There's no school that I can think of that offers real estate courses to our older juniors and seniors. So in order to be a real estate agent in the state of Georgia, you have to be 18. You have to graduate, have some type of GED or a diploma. So when our kids, I want to be able to offer, and I'm a licensed real estate broker in the state of Georgia, and our school will be a real estate school as well. So I want to offer real estate courses to our kids that's 18 or about to be 18, that's about to graduate. And when they graduate, being able to, go out there and work immediately with an education, that being able to start their business, whether it's an investment firm, whether it's a real estate firm, whether it's something to be able to have and not just be idle in the community and not being able to do nothing and be successful. There are a lot of successful real estate agents right now, just with a high school education, but great millionaires, became millionaires, just fresh out of high school. And that's what I want my kids to be able to do, be successful, whether it's being a doctor, being able to speak, being able to go and interview for that panel, doctors or lawyers, being able to defend themselves, but just being able to speak in a room and not being afraid. So if they don't learn anything, one of the most important things I want my students to be able to is to speak, public speaking, to being able to sell themselves, and as well as their education and their knowledge, being able to write that resume, being able to talk about the experience that they experienced in the school. So preparing them for life, something that I didn't have, something that you probably didn't have yourself. So let's prepare our students. Let's do something great, you guys. This is only the beginning, but I'm telling you, my mindset, when people see what we're doing, when they see the videos, when they see the fun that we're engaging our kids with, I see music being all over the school and just being able to encourage them. And I got the idea just being a principal in an alternative school and realize that these kids, there's nothing wrong with their kid, with the way that they learn. We just have to engage them a different way. So let's do it, guys. Let's do it. Let's be a part of something great. Please, I'm begging you to be a part of this from the ground up. So if you guys are interested, please let me know. Give the CSRA something different that's never been accomplished before, but creating creative thinkers for tomorrow. And I just thank you for taking the time out to listen to this presentation.